So I have been asked to do a tutorial for a updo for work, especially for the summer, and I'm going to do something a little bit 1940s inspired. I've been missing in action. I'm sorry about that. Had a lot going on. I've been trying to get everything squared away for just everything Viva related, so I'm really glad. I had a great time, but I'm glad it's over with. Anyway, this is by your request. This is a updo for work, and it's a super easy one to do. Now you see me unrolling my hot sticks. I actually do not recommend hot sticks for this because it won't be as easy. You'll have to wait for the hot sticks to set and everything in the morning. So this is actually something I'd recommend doing with a with foam rollers or pillow rollers and sleeping on them at night, so that you don't have to worry about all this whole hot products and setting time and all that kind of stuff. It's also better for your hair. The bad thing about hot sticks is how you have to pull to get them open, and sometimes they do pull your hair along with it. When you don't have very much hair, that's a bad thing. Okay, so the curls took really well. I used a new heat protectant. This is the Pantene heat protection spray, and I'll do a review on it. I'm not a big fan. So far anyway. I might decide I love the way it makes the finished product, so we'll see what happens with that. And I've aimed my bangs off my face, so I've gone ahead and put them in rollers as well. Since they're short, I used little small curlers. Okay, so I'm just going to leave these off my face for now. They're a little frizzy. We'll fix them in a little bit. This is a super easy updo for work or whatever. And it's also a great way to use your vintage chiffon scarves, because this is going to be a scarf hairstyle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take these combs. You guys have seen me use them a million times. These are very traditional. This is a very traditional way to put up the hair, and it will prevent you from having to use a whole lot of bobby pins, which can cause the hair to kind of dent a little bit in areas, so that they won't really be usable curls for a set later. So what I'm going to do is, you're not going to see this part. I'm going to flip over, and I'm brushing all of my hair towards the top. What I'm going to use is my teasing comb or teasing brush to kind of smooth that hair out. And I'm just going to force them down into the hair like this, so that we can secure the hair in traditional 1940s fashion with combs. And I have 3 combs here. I'm probably going to have to use all 3. And I'm going to take the curls that came up like this. They're all over the place. And I'm going to start arranging them on top of my head using bobby pins. Using a different brand of bobby pins now. These are called Annie bobby pins. Oh, isn't that's cute. Okay. I'm already not liking them very much. They feel flimsy. But anyway, got them in black. And I'm just going to take these curls and just start pinning them so that they're a little bit more towards the top of my head. Literally takes hardly any time, and you'll actually see that this is the technique I use in my Rosie the Riveter bandana tutorial that I did years ago and that I reshot recently. Cover the combs just a little bit, but combs are really forgiving. I like combs because it doesn't matter as much if they show, as they're kind of decorative. You can actually arrange these to make like a poodle hairstyle if you want to, if that's the look that you're going for. I think a lot of people really like the traditional look of it, but I think if you're older, if you're in your 30s like I am, late 30s, then it can tend to look a little matronly. So what you can do in a case like this, individual sections, and I'm gonna brush them out, kind of get the frizz out. Spin them back into a curl and pin them. And I'm also taking the front portion of my hair and just pushing it up so that it's kind of more defined. It's basically about taking these curls that you created and not completely brushing them out into a wave, keeping them in curls but keeping them defined. So I'm basically just defining the curls. Okay, and you'll see it's slightly off center. I did that on purpose as well because we're going to do a scarf, and the scarf is going to kind of be over here. It's going to balance it out, but you can do it directly on top of your head if you want. But you can see I kept the curls kind of over to one side, and I'm going to take my smoothing brush and I'm just going to kind of brush some smoothness into this area, spray it, and this hairspray can still be brushed through later, so that's very important. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this widely folded chiffon scarf. This is a vintage one. You're really not going to find very many of these that are not vintage, just simply because they don't make them the same anymore. I do not know why. Okay, and I'm just going to tie this into a bow. And that's it. This is just an easy, quick updo for daytime, and I will be back in just a second to show you what you can do to kind of release this and make it a nighttime hairstyle. And then basically what you can do is at the end of the day, whenever you are ready to go out for the evening, all you have to do to utilize the curls you already had today is brush them out. You'll see that they'll brush out pretty smoothly, and you can just wear them like that because I actually did this in Vegas quite a lot. The climate's really conducive to that. You just wear it up during the day and then use that set at night to kind of harness the curls and make them work for you. But then you can also take those combs and put them on the sides and make it a really, really simple and evening-ish hairstyle, which would be something that it's one of my favorite things to do, is just to do simple waves at night. And I would just take one comb, and then just brush this hair downward, keep those soft waves intact. And this is one of my favorite hairstyles to do at any time of year. I'm just going to pull a little bit more volume into the side by pushing this comb forward. This is like a style that I wear all the time in the summer. I'm not a double victory roll type girl. I don't really care for them all that much. I very rarely do them. If I do, I usually do some type of variation on this side so that it's not completely balanced out, or so that it's a little more balanced out. But I don't like to do perfectly symmetrical victory rolls on both sides. I don't like it on me. I like it on other people. And I tend to do it sometimes on other people. But I'm just gonna take this front section or this side section and kind of twist it around my hands. Y'all know my traditional victory roll method. I don't do a lot of teasing. I don't make them really bulky and large. I tend to keep them more traditional to the 1940s aesthetic, which was tended to be a little bit smaller unless you had super thick curly hair, and I do not. And see, I just put this into a very simple roll. You can see, and this section stays a little flatter. I'm going to use a pin right there to anchor it. So I have this one soft kind of taffy roll. You can kind of stick your finger in there and make sure it looks a little neater on the inside. But then I also am going to take my bang section. And then for this bottom section, you can basically do whatever you want with it. You can put it into a little Gibson roll, you can turn it up, leave it down, whatever. Typically with styles like this, I like to wear the back loose, but if the weather's not conducive, then I might just put it up into like a little knot or a French twist or something like that in the back. But this is an example of how to do a victory roll style, but without the opening showing. It's a very traditional type of 1940s hairstyle that you can do. Using your day style as a set and then doing something in the evening that's a little bit different. And then if you want to balance out this, because it's got this asymmetrical appearance, which I happen to like, but if you're not into that, you can balance it out by just doing some flowers on one side. Today I'm just going to play with it and use these flower clips from Bell Blossoms as just a little way of dressing it up. Without it being too obvious and too much bulk from the flowers. So anyway, I hope you guys like this. Let me know if you decide you want to work with it. Let me know what styles that you like to do whenever you've used whenever you used your daytime style as a set. And yeah, so that's it. Here's the front. There's the back. And I hope y'all liked it.